You will own nothing and be happy. That line, once part of a World Economic Forum forecast, has become both a meme and a warning shot, and whether it's misrepresented or not, it started to feel like a prediction coming true. We used to own our media, our music, our movies, our games, but now we rent access, and it can be revoked at any time. That's the reality we are diving into today. From the rise and return of piracy to broken business models to a deeper conversation around ownership in the digital age. I'll be sharing my thoughts on digital video, music, and especially video games. And yes, we will be talking about the Stop Killing Games movement and Pirate Software's recent drama. But don't worry, I'm not about to turn this into another hour-long expose like my first Signalgate video. Let's keep this on track. But before we dive in, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and smash that bell so you don't miss future uploads. I cover everything from cybersecurity to media preservation and the weird world in between. And if you want more behind-the-scenes takes or to chat with the community, I'm on TikTok, Twitch, Mastodon, Blue Sky, and more. All the links are in the description below. Piracy. It's a topic that's gotten a bit more complicated in recent years. I've never really been a fan of piracy per se. I've always tried to support the creators whose work I love. But I'm not blind to why so many people are going back to it. As someone who grew up in the Napster, WinMX, Kazaa, and LimeWire era, I remember how digital access was a mess. There was no iTunes yet, no streaming services. If you wanted music, you either ripped it from a CD or rolled the dice on a mislabeled MP3 that claimed to be Linkin Park and ended up being Soulja Boy. Yes, really, that's how we got big. Uploading his tracks under the names of popular artists like Nirvana, Britney Spears, and more. It became such a meme that some people just accepted it. You wanted Nirvana, but instead of Smells Like Teen Spirit, you got you! There was even legal issues around Metallica that actually was suing their own fans and stuff because they were downloading their music. They got a lot of hate for that even to this day. But then iTunes came out and made it easier to pay for your music. And now most people stream their music legally. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, etc. But here's the kicker. We still don't own anything. Your account gets banned, you lose access. Labels pull rights, music vanishes. A song you thought you bought can disappear overnight, which is why over the last few years, I've been shifting back to owning my own music. I started with an old iPod. Nostalgia vibes. And now I've moved on to using a Tangara, a right-to-repair open-source music player I absolutely love. I'll have a full video on it soon, but spoiler, it freaking rocks. Now, let's talk about videos, TV, and movies are even worse. It's fragmented. Chaos. You want to watch Stargate SG-1, one of my favorite shows? Hope you like chasing it across Netflix, Amazon Prime, and whatever platform it randomly gets yanked to next. Parks and Recreation, it used to be on Netflix, now it's on Peacock. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine, same story. Even if you buy shows on Amazon, they can be revoked. There are multiple lawsuits and terms of service confirming this. You're not buying, you are renting with a permission slip. You're basically licensing nostalgia with a monthly invoice. We don't own games anymore either. Even physical copies are just license tokens. Take the Nintendo DS store. It's gone. Entire games have disappeared unless you already had them downloaded. And the upcoming Switch 2? The cartridges reportedly don't even include full games anymore. They just authenticate your license. DRM with extra steps. Let's not forget when Microsoft tried to kill game sharing altogether with the Xbox One. Public backlash was so intense, Sony mocked them with a parody video showing how to share a PlayStation game by handing it to a friend. So again, what are you really paying for? A license. That can be revoked. And that's exactly what Stop Killing Games movement is trying to address. So there's a movement called Stop Killing Games. You may have heard of it by now. If not, SKG, that has been picking up steam. We're going to call it SKG because it's just a mouthful to say every time. And it came back into the spotlight recently because of some controversy involving Thor from Pirate Software. Let's get something straight first. SKG wasn't started by Thor. It was created by Ross Scott, aka Accursed Farms, and the actual campaign goals are laid out at StopKillingGames.com. The aim is basically to push for real consumer protection laws that stop companies from just deleting access to games we've already paid for. especially when it comes to single-player titles or games with LAN offline modes that are still technically playable. And I will give you an example at the end of a game that actually already fits that model that I've been playing on and off for about 20 years. Now, I'll be the first to say the campaign isn't perfect, but it's a step in the right direction, because at its core, SKG is about preservation. If I buy a game, I should be able to play that game, even if the studio shuts down or moves on. Pirate Software mischaracterized that mission entirely. In multiple public comments, he implied that SKG demands developers maintain servers forever or somehow turn every multiplayer game into a single-player experience, basically. That's at least the sentiment that I have gotten going through quite a few of his videos, which is just false, and not what Ross or the site says. There's a clip making the rounds, a mashup of different moments, where Thor calls the campaign used car salesman garbage. Says, not only do I not want to back this, I am going to actively tell people not to, and tops it all off with, eat my entire ass. So rather than paraphrasing, let's roll the actual clip.
Shit, now this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is shit. It's shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful. That is a horrible goddamn direction. That's awful, dude. Now, eat my entire ass. The level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move. I think this is ass. This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then. I drop the mask entirely. I have no qualms about that. They can eat my entire ass. The whole thing. That sounds stupid as shit.
Yeah, not exactly a constructive take. Especially on a movement trying to preserve games people paid for. And to be clear, the issue isn't that Thor necessarily disagrees with SKG. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. You don't have to back every movement. The real problem is how he voices those opinions. It's often antagonistic, exaggerated, and framed to make himself look right. Sometimes at the cost of misrepresenting what's actually being said. And that's unfortunate because SKG deserves thoughtful critique. It's not perfect, but there's a big difference between helping improve a movement and dunking on it for internet clout. Moist Critical, Louis Rossman, and others have called out the misinformation. And while I don't regularly follow Thor, I've seen plenty of eyebrow-raising takes, especially in cybersecurity. Like when I had people flooding my comments repeating his claim that VPNs are only good for geolocation changes.
Just watched your short saying VPN doesn't make you safer. Then what does?
VPN is not a security product. It is never going to be a security product. If you want to be safer on what you are doing, stop logging into critical accounts that you have on public access internet. Don't do that. Ever. Ever at all. It is not a security product.
Here's the thing. VPNs aren't worthless. They're oversold. Sure. But they serve a purpose in business, in ZTNA, Zero Trust Network Access, and especially on untrusted public networks like hotel Wi-Fi or airport terminals. I've gone over this in other videos, and yeah, shameless plug, I'm affiliated with Proton. Their suite includes a VPN I've personally used while traveling, and they even offer multi-hop routing to defend against time-based correlation attacks. Link below. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Elbow, elbow. And before you say I'm off topic, this is foreshadowing. Stick with me. Yes, Thor was a pen tester. He's got 3 DEF CON black badges. But even if he's worked where he says he has, and I'm not questioning that, I get the feeling he embellishes what he did or how important he was. Not saying pen testing isn't critical, but he often speaks with the kind of unchecked authority that most of us in cyber try to avoid. We know our strengths, we know our limits, and we don't try to pretend to be experts in everything. And frankly, the way he handled the SKG discussion, yeah, you can tell he worked at Blizzard. He doesn't take feedback, and he always thinks he's right. This isn't the first time I've disagreed with him either. I don't follow him outside of viral clips, but there's been drama around a World of Warcraft guild and a general tone of ego that's hard to ignore. Not surprising that in a conversation about preserving games, he misunderstood it and then talked over everyone else. But back to the topic. One of my favorite games of all time, Tribes 2. is a perfect example of what SKG is fighting for. It's over 20 years old. Sierra shut down the servers ages ago. Then they re-released it as a free download around 2004. Eventually, that too went down. But the community patched it so the master server points to a new location. You can still download the game, apply a community patch called Tribes Next, and play online today. There's some history I'm kind of glossing over here because it was, sold for a few years, then it traded hands a few times, and then, it was shut down, brought back, shut down, basically. But yeah, mods and all, and it works. And yes, it runs on Linux. I even reinstalled it live on stream recently when this whole topic came up. The game, as you saw, we quickly installed this through Linux and using Lutris. And this game is older than some of you watching this video. This is how Stop Killing Games could ideally work, where control is handed over, and then you can get right into playing a game. And as you can see, we're jetpacking around, got my spin fuser. Now, if you don't remember this game, and that's Tribes 2. 24 years after it's released. But this is how Stop Killing Games could actually work. I've been seriously tempted to launch an Ultra XL server and get some old school capture the flag going. Maybe a nice 16 versus 16 or even a tight 8v8 match. Honestly, if I'm going to spend hours sniping from a hilltop, I want to do it on my terms. Now, let's pivot to how people are actually pirating today. Bittorrent. And there's a massive misconception here. Bittorrent isn't illegal. It's just a peer-to-peer protocol. Facebook has even used Bittorrent internally to distribute software updates to their infrastructure. The way people get caught pirating with Bittorrent is by tracking IP addresses. When you join a torrent swarm, your IP is visible. Copyright trolls join swarms and log everyone's address. That's how the lawsuits start. This is why many people use VPNs and tools like IP Filter. The VPN masks their real IP. Some people even route through multiple hops. And remember that VPN rant earlier? Told you it'd come back. Sure, in this case, it's about hiding your tracks. But everything I said earlier about public network safety and zero trust still applies. Yes, this could be argued more about pretending to be somewhere else, because let's be honest, those VPN providers are probably getting reams of DMCA takedown notices and subpoenas. Link below. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Elbow, elbow. Speaking of reams of paper and DMCA takedown requests, this reminds me of one of the most iconic internet moments, the Pirate Bay's response to DreamWorks in 2004. I'll read it here with a few creative edits. Pirate Bay, August 23rd, 2004. Unauthorized use of DreamWorks SKG properties. They were responding to original letter. As you may or may not be aware, Sweden is not a state in the United States of America. Sweden is a country in Northern Europe. Unless you figured it out by now, US law does not apply here. For your information, no Swedish law is being violated. Please be assured that any further contact with us, regardless of medium, will result in A, a suit being filed for harassment, B, a formal complaint lodged with the bar of your legal counsel for sending frivolous legal threats. It is the opinion of us and our lawyers that you are morons and that you should please go play with yourself with retractable batons. Please note that your email and letter will be published in full on thepiratebay.org. Go F yourself, polite as usual, anaconda. It's funny, it's bold, and it's part of internet history. So, at the end of the day, is it really about piracy if we really don't own the content we pay for? If a game vanishes, if a show is pulled, or a song is yanked and there's no legal way to get it back, what choice do we really have? To be clear, I'm not telling you to pirate, but I am saying maybe the system is broken, and maybe the Stop Killing Games movement is worth supporting. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Follow me on TikTok, Twitch, Mastodon, and Blue Sky. Links are in the description. Stay safe, stay informed, and as always, happy hacking.